If you follow me on Facebook, you know I've been super excited about this farmhouse wreath idea. But then things shifted, and now this is more about expectations from what we see on the internet to what reality is. Let's go. Hello, I'm Noreen Burke from the Crafty Organizer, and today I'm really excited to bring you the reality of crafting. Now, I found this idea. I hunted down the gal who I think came up with the original idea. She was the first person I saw who made the tutorial. Her name is Natalie. Her channel is Natalie Creates Crafts. This video has nothing to do against her. I think what she did was amazing. It was creative, it was beautiful, and I have been so excited to recreate it, which is why I think this was so disappointing. So as I'm talking about this has nothing to do with the creator and more to do about the supplies that are available to us and the ability to change and adapt as we find those resources. So let's get into this. Here's Natalie in the original wreath that she created, and here is a variation that someone else made. And I have to tell you, everything about this wreath just absolutely speaks to me. So I was so excited. I ran to my Dollar Tree, ran to my next Dollar Tree, kept going every time I'd see a Dollar Tree. Long story short, it's been about 8 months and I've never seen the form to make this heart wreath. So if you've watched my last video, you know in my Dollar Tree haul, I saw the heart and I was so crazy excited. I mean, I changed my schedule around because I was so excited to finally get to make this wreath. I bought all of the supplies and I dove in this weekend. So let's talk about the supplies. I got almost everything that she said. So I got 2 ropes, I got the little hearts from Dollar Tree, I got the polka dot ribbons from Dollar Tree, I got the farmhouse check at Hobby Lobby, a floral pick which was $1.50, and the frame. So I spent $10.90 on everything. Now again, this video has nothing to do with Natalie. She's amazing and this craft is amazing. But let's take a look at some of the things that happened while I was making this. First of all, as I was wrapping the rope around, it just felt different. It wasn't matching what I kept thinking in my mind, and I couldn't really figure out why. Also, in her tutorial, the rope goes all the way to the peak of the heart, and I ran out of rope right away. So that's when I noticed in her video, she has 13 feet, and in mine, I only have 9.5 feet. That's a huge variation from what Dollar Tree was selling when she made this video. But that's okay. I'm going to show you how to fix this. So when the rope comes, it has tape around the end so it doesn't fray. Hot glue the ends together with the tape still on. Once it's completely dry, you can easily cut off the tape. But what this does is it keeps the same consistent size so that your rope piece will completely blend together. Here it is. You can't even tell where the seam was, so you can just continue with your craft. So I kept going. The pattern was pretty difficult in this part because I had new rope and it was long. But once again, as I'm going through and doing the specific technique that she showed, it just wasn't looking the same. And I'm sitting here thinking, gosh, am I just not good at this? But here's a difference why. Do you see how thick her frame is? So here's my frame and here's her frame. What a huge difference. And I didn't catch that. Mine is a total of 1 inch all the way around. Hers has an inch between each frame for a total of 3 inches. That is a huge variation. So I decided to just keep going, do my best. It'll all come together at the end. So once it was done, it looks cute. It just doesn't have the ability to see all those amazing details because it's not as big. So I continued with her instructions of cutting 6-inch strips, and I cut about 30 of those. So once I was all done with cutting the 30 6-inch strips, I went back through and I cut each single strip with a dovetail technique. Once I sailed through all of those, in her video, she just glued them to the back. And this worked great for me. So I realized pretty quickly, though, that it felt like I wasn't going to have enough, so I started spreading them out. And that's when I realized there was no way I was going to have enough ribbon. So I had to run back out to Dollar Tree, get a couple more rolls. I also had to get another roll from the Hobby Lobby. So I was disappointed that I didn't have enough, but more so because I couldn't find the exact same patterns. So now there was a lot of mismatched buffalo check in there, which isn't too noticeable, but I really liked the cleanness of hers with the rope, the gingham, and then those polka dots. So that was a bummer, but I kept going. But I actually think it looks pretty cute here. In retrospect, editing this looks adorable. So the next step is to pull the ribbon through the outer ring. You've attached it to the back. Now you pull it through the ring and bring it up front, except because the space is so small, I had a heck of a time pulling all of that ribbon through. And sadly, what ended up happening is my little ends got all frayed and tattered. And again, this has nothing to do with Natalie. It's a different product that I was using, even though I got it from the same places. So be mindful of that. Once I finally got it all through, I decided it was just going to be more of a rag ribbon look. So I didn't have to cut all of those dovetails, but who would have known? Now it was time to cut the polka dots. Now in her video, she said to do 35-inch tips. I ended up cutting 36 because I didn't want to run out like before. So I was excited. It's a little tight, but I got that ribbon through, and I go ahead and pull it so that I can attach it. And I'm already thinking, wait a minute. There's no way you're going to be able to see this. And I had already realized that there were some variations, so shame on me. I should have checked as soon as I realized that the frame size was different and just kind of tested how far that outer piece should have been. So this is all on me for not adjusting as I was going through the project. So I cut the strips. I decided just to pull them and then kind of crunch up the wire ribbon on the inside. And it looks okay. It does. It looks cute on its own. It's just the original was so darling, and I've been looking forward to this for so long that I'm disappointed. So I'm going to go ahead and decorate it. I got this floral pick, and with the little hearts, I'm just going to go ahead and embellish it the same way. A difference that I'm going to do is I took a binder clip and I'm going to attach it to the top. This way I can change out the decoration that's on there and make it seasonal. So the way that I'm going to attach this is I'm going to open up the clip so that it's long on one side and folded on the other. I'm going to put a generous amount of hot glue, and then I'm going to take one of the scraps from the ribbon that I cut out and place it over. The fabric will allow that hot glue gun to bond really well and kind of sandwich in that metal clip that would otherwise pop off from the glue. So this should hold it in place. I then folded it back, and that will actually give it a little bit more stability. Now I can go ahead and add in my flower picks as I want and just play with it. This is always that fun subjective part. You could do whatever you want. I went ahead and tied the little string onto the heart, and now I could just place it over the other portion of the binder clip and it will just hang there. When I want to swap it out, I could take it off and hang whatever small decor item I want and just keep it updated for the seasons. If you've watched my videos before, you know I love coming up with ways to make things changeable so that I'm not having to store so much. So this was an idea I did like for the wreath. Now it was time to add the string to the back, and all I did was again take a little piece of scrap so that I was fusing the glue together at the end of each string so that it would stay in place. Now that it was done, I was ready to hang it. I chose to hang it on my front screen door, and it really does look adorable. I just loved Natalie's original. So I initially had spent $10.90. I had to get an extra rope, 2 extra Dollar Tree ribbons, and an extra Hobby Lobby ribbon, which brought the total to $16.90. Again, I think it turned out cute. I was just absolutely in love with the one that Natalie made. And again, I'm going to keep saying this because I don't want anyone making any derogatory comments to what she did. Her tutorial was amazing. Her creation was gorgeous, which is why I was so excited to create it. The issue is the supplies have changed. The sizes, the weights have changed. So be very mindful if you're watching any tutorials that aren't right now. Things have been adjusted and you might not be getting the complete quantity that you need, so watch for it. So I decided I still really want to create the one that she did. So I went online to look for the wreath that is a little bit smaller but wider between those bars. And I was kind of surprised because my very first Google search, the Dollar Tree is still showing the old wreath, but Amazon has the same wreath and it looks like the same tag. So here's Dollar Tree, and I left the date stamp on the bottom to show it's right now. And then here's Amazon selling a Dollar Tree wreath. And if you're wondering, no, it can't be, there was an actual comment saying, you shouldn't be selling this if the Dollar Tree tag is still on there. So I thought that was kind of hysterical. So just be watching. If you end up finding that heart wreath, know that it's a little bit smaller than her tutorial. If you want to get the bigger one, you might have to go ahead and spend a little extra money to get the wider one. I am going to do that because I really did love the look of her original creation. And even though the one I just finished is cute, I am in love with that first one. So that's what I'm going to do. Since I was feeling so crafty this weekend, I went ahead and did the pumpkin centerpieces, and I am crazy in love with how those turned out. So if you are interested in seeing how this is done, that video will be coming out on Friday, so make sure you've hit subscribe to be notified when it comes out. I am hitting a year on Patreon, and I cannot believe the amazing generosity that I've received from that group. So to those who have been supporting me on Patreon, I cannot tell you how much it means to me that you are allowing me to do something that I love so much. These videos aren't quick to make. I have to research them, write them, get out the script, do the filming, do the editing. It takes me about 2 to 2.5 days to do one video, even though it's only like 15 minutes. I keep trying to figure out, is there a better way? And the more research I do into it, the more I realize, nope, that's just the nature of filming. So thank you to my patrons, and thank you for watching. The best way you could support me is watch these videos, hit that like button. If you don't mind sitting through the commercials, that's how I get some revenue. And it's funny, I have some kids on the street. This is just a funny thing. The video's done. If you want to click away, I had some kids come up to my door the other day and they're like, hey, could we water your lawn? I said, why? They said, because we're looking to make money. I said, okay, how much would a task like this run me? They said $9. $9 to water my lawn? They said, yeah. I said, honey, that's a lot of money. I can't do that right now. He goes, I've seen you on YouTube. I know you're rich. I had to laugh. That was adorable. I hope to be rich someday, but I don't think it's going to be off of YouTube. And I've always considered richness what's in your heart and in your home versus what's in your bank account. So he's right. I am rich. And that's all because I have you guys supporting me. So thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. I hope you liked today's video, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye.